So, you're looking for a dog trainer here in Panama City? You are in exactly the right place. We're going to walk through everything you need to know so you can make a really confident choice for your dog.
Having a dog in Panama City is, it's a real adventure, right? One day you're navigating all the energy at Pier Park, and the next you're on a totally quiet trail at Conservation Park. It's what makes this area so great, but it also means our dogs have to be ready for pretty much anything. They need to be confident no matter where we take them.
So, the question is, how do you find a trainer who actually gets our coastal lifestyle? Not just someone who teaches sit and stay, but someone who can get your dog ready for the real world here. Well, that's what we're here to help you figure out. All right, first things first. Before you even start Googling trainers, we have to talk about the training philosophy. This is, and I mean this, the absolute foundation for everything else. If you get this part right, you're building a solid partnership with your dog based on trust. The method you really want to look for is called positive reinforcement. It's a pretty simple idea when you think about it. You just reward the behaviors you want to see more of. We're not talking about bribing them. It's more like showing them that doing the right thing is awesome and gets them good stuff, like treats or praise. That's how you really build that incredible bond.
And this is a really important distinction. On one side, you have these modern, science-backed methods that teach your dog what you want them to do. It builds a happy, confident partner. But on the other side, you have these really outdated methods that use fear or intimidation. They don't actually teach anything. They just scare the dog into stopping a behavior. And honestly, that can cause way more problems down the road.
Okay, so we've covered the what, the philosophy. Now let's get into the who and the how. We're talking about credentials, different kinds of programs, and of course, what it's all going to cost right here in Bay County.
Now, you're going to see a bunch of letters after some trainers' names, and it can look like alphabet soup, I know, but they're actually really important. Something like CPDTKA means that trainer passed a pretty tough test on their knowledge. And if you're dealing with bigger stuff like fear or aggression, seeing IABCDBC or CBCCKA tells you they have some serious expertise. It's a great sign they're committed to what they do. So what kind of training is right for your dog? Well, there's no single answer. Group classes are awesome for learning to focus when other dogs are around. Private lessons, that's for super targeted one-on-one help. In-home training is perfect for stuff that, only happens at home, like dashing out the door. And then there's board and train, which can be a good intensive option, but you have to be really sure they use positive methods.
Okay, let's talk money. Here's a look at what you can generally expect to pay in our area. For a standard 6-week group class, you're probably looking at somewhere between $150 and $275. A single private lesson will usually be somewhere in the $80 to $140 range. And yeah, those board and train programs are a much bigger investment. Just seeing the numbers helps you figure out what works for your wallet.
All right, this next part is maybe the most crucial. We're talking about how to actually talk to a potential trainer. Remember, you're not just buying a package of lessons, you are hiring someone to be on your team. So think of these next few slides as your personal toolkit for making a really great choice. Seriously, don't be shy about setting up a call or a meeting. Any good trainer is going to be happy to answer all your questions. It shows them you're a dedicated owner, and it's your chance to get a feel for them. At the end of the day, you're the one doing the interview.
Your first question right out of the gate should be about their training philosophy. You want their answer to sound a lot like what we just talked about with positive reinforcement. Listen for phrases like reward-based or force-free. You want to get the sense that their number one goal is making sure your dog is having a good time while learning. Okay, here's a great question to ask. How will you customize a plan for our life here in Panama City? Can they help you with walking calmly on a leash when there's a ton of stuff going on at the beach access? Do they know how to handle thunderstorm anxiety, which is a big deal here? This is the kind of question that weeds out the generic trainers from the ones who really know our area. And here are a few more things for your checklist. Definitely ask about their credentials. You'll want to be clear on stuff like their cancellation policy, ask them how they track progress, and this one's huge. Find out what they expect from you. What's your homework? Because training is a team effort. Oh, and if you're dealing with a serious behavior issue, make sure they're willing to work with your vet. That's a big green flag. All right, so once you've picked your trainer and you've got a plan, that's when the real fun starts, taking all those new skills out into the real world. So let's talk about the local rules and some of the best spots around town to practice. So to be a great dog owner here, you gotta know the rules. It's pretty simple. Your dog needs to be on a leash in public unless you're in a specific off-leash park. Florida law says they need a rabies vaccine, and hey, good training helps with things like barking too much, which definitely helps you stay on good terms with your neighbors. You should really think of our parks as your own personal training grounds. Mackenzie Park is great for practicing staying calm with all the distractions on the bayfront. The trails over at St. Andrews or Conservation Park, perfect for really nailing that leash walking. And of course, Frank Brown Park, with its fenced-in dog run, is the #1 spot to work on recall in a safe place. And this is why we do it. All this effort in finding a great trainer. It pays off in those little moments. A nice, calm walk, a fun trip to the park without any stress. Just knowing that you and your dog can handle things together, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, having a well-trained dog isn't really about having control. It's about building confidence in your dog and in yourself. It just opens up so many more adventures for you both, from a walk around the block to a full-on day at the beach. You're setting your dog up to be the best possible companion for life here in Bay County. We wish you the best of luck with your training and have fun out there.